Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Miss Atlanta from MsAtlantaThinkDream.com, also known as the Love Goddess Yvette Dream Johnson. Hello. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Yes, I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on this post, this share. Look, I'm sipping my matcha latte today. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, 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 hi. So hold on. I wanted to give you all a look see inside of me when I do my live posts on various different platforms like PeeksSocial, my OnlyFans, Facebook, etc., etc. Something I've not done here on YouTube for my YouTube lovers and subscribers. Some of y'all the same people y'all have seen me do my razzle dazzle in many different forms. But I decided I wanted to do something in the Love Goddess, my ritual of reading out loud and also holding space for the masculine. That's, I'm still calling it my beloved. Yes, 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 I am. And honoring all things dealing with spiritual sexuality and that oneness, being one and being in our true purpose and being our authentic self. So honoring that as well when I do these read out loud rituals. So, I'm just giving you a sample here. So, if you have not been following me on my Peak Socials, you know that I am reading two books at one time right now. I'm reading Eliana's book, Faith in the Valley. It's like a daily devotional for women, lessons for women on the journey to peace. That's one book I'm reading. And I'm also reading The Way of a Superior Man by David Deida. And this is a book for men, of course. This is my second time buying this book. I bought the first copy for a former lover. I felt that he could have easily learned a lot from this book by David Deida, and it is a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire. So this is my personal copy. I highlight it. I read it. I skip around. I'm not reading it straight through. So, and the same thing I'm doing with this one. So I'm reading these two books. Y'all know, if you don't know by now, Miss Atlanta, yes, I am an avid reader. I love reading. I love reading books. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna read something out of one of these books. So wherever my spirit leads me, that's what I'm gonna pull. I have actually have a page or a chapter out of David Dita's book, so I might end up reading from that one first. But I wanted to get into my little talk because um, I know I've done lives and stuff over the years talking about the importance of like flirting and phone sex 101. I've talked about that here. I don't know if I talked about it on YouTube or not, but I do believe it's so important that um, when we are in a couple ship, or when we are in, whether it is just a situationship or it's just something you just, sharing some yummy moments with a person, okay? I think it's so important. I had to say this before I get into my read out loud that oral sex is so important. Some people may not think it's important, but I, me, yes, I am her. I'm speaking of me. I believe that it's so important. One, it is a form of worship, mutual worship, not just me giving you head service or me worshiping your cock, your lingam. No, it is mutual worship that I am expecting. Not always, not always is that has that been the case for me when I'm in a thing or with someone, and that's something I have to right now. I have to send away shoo 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 shoo, right? Because for me, and pay attention y'all ladies or fellas, for me, that when a person does not do that, it to me that indicates that they're being selfish, they're being reserved, they're not as kinky. You just want, what you want for you, and you're not here to please me, and this is supposed to be a thing that supposed to be reciprocated, you know what I mean? But I've had, like, in a couple instances where lovers did not reciprocate that, and I stayed with it, and I was okay with it. But then it became like they were expecting me to give them oral worship, head service, okay? But they didn't want to, go down here and worship on my yoni. Like, what? No, what? And when you did it, it wasn't all that anyway. So look, hashtag love 411. If I had to put this out on my Twitter timeline, ATL underscore thick dream, I would say love 411. Get you someone who is going to reciprocate that oral desire and fire that you have, because I'm a philatrix, I'm a fellatrice. So get you someone, make sure the next ones worship you as much as you worship them. Okay. I had to say that real quick. I don't know. It was pulling on my spirit to say that real quick. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Talk about oral sex and the passion in it, and just, yes, I'm submitting to you, in a sense, of worshiping your cock. But you're also needing to return the favor if you want me to continue this. And yeah, and it was so crazy. If we're sharing a beverage, or if we're sharing an appetizer, or you're eating off my plate, and yeah, but you're not eating my pussy? What? That doesn't make any sense to me. So that's just crazy. Yeah, and if you don't know how to do it, hey, book me for a session. thickdreamproductions@gmail.com. I can coach you, okay, on the art of yoni worship. So anyway, I had to talk about that. I don't know. I don't know why. We'll figure out why that came up. Why I had to talk about that real quick. But anyway, getting into my read out loud. I am deciding to go to chapter 24, and it's on page 86. 86 in the way of the superior man. This is me holding space for men who are doing the work. Y'all know what the work is, right? Doing the work. So I'm holding space for you all, and I'm going to read this entire chapter. Yes, I am. And it's chapter 24. It is choose a woman who is your complementary opposite. So when I do my read out louds, I can be kind of dramatic. I add my little, so y'all get to see a little taste of that today here on YouTube. So there's a little paragraph before we start the chapter, and I'm going to read that right now. If a man is very masculine by nature, then he will be attracted to a very feminine woman who will complement his energy. The more neutral or balanced he is, the more balanced he will prefer his woman. And if a man is more feminine by nature, his energy will be complemented by the strong direction and purposiveness of a more masculine woman. By understanding their own needs, men can learn to accept the whole package of a woman. For instance, a more masculine man can expect that any woman who really turns him on and enlivens him will also be relatively wild and undisciplined, bonkers, chaotic, prone to changing her mind and lying. Still, from an energetic perspective, this kind of woman will be much more healing and inspiring to him than a more balanced and neutral woman who is steady, reasonable, trustworthy, and able to say what she means in a way he can understand. Interesting, right? Let's read on. Read on, goddess. You have probably met a woman who seemed fantastic, only to discover she has some emotional weirdness that you don't really want to deal with. Mm. She seemed incredibly sexy, but also a bit bonkers, or complicated, as they like to call me. They don't understand me, or crazy. Bonkers, see, he says here, or crazy. Saying one thing one moment and another the next. You have probably also met some very reasonable and trustworthy women who don't seem to constantly change their mind, and in fact, with whom you could have good conversations that don't end up frustrating you. Although you may love these women and enjoy spending time with them, they don't arouse your passion as much as the woman whose words you wouldn't trust to remain true for an afternoon, but who move their body in a way that drives you wild. That's what wild women. That's what wild women do. Why can't a woman be more like a man? Many men have wondered. But of course, it is precisely those ways in which a woman is least likely a man that hold on, y'all. Sometimes I read a little bit fast. I have to slow down. So listen to this. But of course, it is precisely those ways in which a woman is least like a man that most attract you sexually. If you have a masculine sexual essence, a woman's feminine shine, the energy that moves her body, her utterly refreshing spontaneity and mystery, not to mention her delightful smile, are what attract you. And the more feminine a woman is at her core, the less she is likely to evidence strong masculine traits, such as speaking clearly and unequivocally about thoughts and desires, rather than primarily expressing her feelings of the moment. A woman with a more feminine sexual essence will say that she loves you one moment, and then when you have done something you are not even aware of, she will say that she hates you. This is true. This is the beauty of the feminine. To her, the masculine grid of words and events is less relevant than the fluidity of relationship and feeling. Thank God for such women who make no apologies for their oceanic depth and riptides of emotion. You are always attracted to your sexual reciprocal. So, if you have a more feminine sexual essence, you will be attracted to a more masculine woman. All right, fellas, I hope y'all paying attention. You have probably seen men and women in couples like this. The man is more radiant and lively than the woman. The woman is more committed to her direction in life than the man. The relationship is more important to the man, whereas the woman likes to be left alone much of the time. Mm. These are the signs of a relationship where the man has more feminine essence and the woman's essence is more masculine. Mhm. Other men with more neutral sexual essences prefer women who are also more neutral, neither particularly masculine nor feminine. This kind of couple can talk about anything. You mean anything? Yes, anything. And they like talking about everything. See, I didn't even read this chapter. How did I know that? They share hobbies, friends, even career goals. Though equally loving, this kind of couple is usually less sexually passionate than highly polarized couples. Mhm. It would be unusual to hear about this kind of neutral or balanced couple yelling at each other and throwing pillows, wrestling each other down to the floor, and passionately making love right there and then. Through the lack of understanding, you might have depolarized yourself and your partner into a relationship that seems neutral. Yawn, right? Snoozeville, right? But actually isn't. Only about 10% of couples are actually the neutral or balanced type in their true essence. Another 10% of couples are made up of feminine man and masculine woman. But if you are like 80% of couples, you have a masculine sexual essence And your woman has a feminine one. That is her feminine way. I like when this book like kind of gives a real read. That is her feminine way frustrates you, drives you crazy, inspires you, or turns you on. More often than she is simply your sexual neutral buddy. Mm. The false neutralization or depolarization of the relationship is one of the main reasons that couples break up. The rejuvenative charge of sexual loving becomes weak, while all things that irritate you and your partner remain just as strong as ever. The secret is not to try to change your woman's irritating feminine ways, but to help cultivate the depth and rejuvenative power of her feminine blessings. If you are like most men, you have probably minimized your appreciation of the full spectrum of your woman's feminine energy by numbing yourself to the aspects that most irritate you. Mm. For instance, she doesn't drive you crazy anymore because you've learned not to take her too seriously. Oh, is that what it is, huh? Perhaps you have learned to seem attentive while not really listening to her endless chat. So that's what happens. You say? Or maybe you have learned to give her a daily dose of attention as a way to quell her ongoing need for more intimate time than you really want to spend with her. Okay. Mhm. This is the wrong approach. I thought so. The feminine is an infinite source of love, inspiration, and power, both physically and spiritually. Feminine women are connected with the elements of nature in ways that more masculine people, such as yourself, usually aren't. Feminine women may seem wild, untrustable, or even irresponsible from a man's perspective, but such women are simply free of the masculine need to live in a world governed by reason and control. Feminine women are free to feel flows of natural livingness that you are unable to feel. They are free to be moved by currents of energy of which most men are unaware. They are free to allow their bodies to be transparent to the flow of their hearts, uncontrolled and undirected by goals and structure. The feminine body is free to be moved by love and by life itself. And this is highly valued by most men, but underappreciated, right? To behold a woman free in her expression of bodily ecstasy is one of the most awesome visions most men have had. Men will even pay to watch a woman's body express ecstasy, even if she is only faking it, like in a porn movie. This is true. So, in our secular culture, most men are only familiar with sexual ecstasy. And so it is this form of free bodily expression that men pay to see in movies, on the stage, and in private rooms around the world. However, in cultures that admit a greater degree of sexual revelation, women's bodies are viewed with the same masculine awe, but for a different kind of expression, not merely for their capacity to express sexual ecstasy in a way that is foreign, but unbelievably attractive, but also for their capacity to express spiritual ecstasy. Temple dancers in India, for instance, are traditionally feminine women trained from an early age to combine skill and heartfelt devotion in a style of dance which frees their bodies to be moved by a divine force, bringing tears to many men's eyes and openness to their hearts. A woman who is at home with her feminine essence is at home with energy to be it sexual or spiritual. For such a woman, there is no disconnection between sex and spirit. This is true. Her sexual surrender, if she is with a worthy man, is the same as her devotional spiritual surrender. She opens from head to toe, receiving divine love force deep throughout her body, so that she is rippled, arched, and undulated by its boundless flow. More masculine or neutral women are less likely to allow such freedom of bodily expression. Yet it is a woman's expression of this kind of ecstasy that invites a masculine man to leave his heady world of thoughts and goals and celebrate the moment in the flesh through the heart. Whether in a strip joint or a sacred temple, men have been attracted for thousands of years to witness the feminine embodiment of ecstasy. Women are literally worshiped in such occasions. Men shout their praises to the goddess, dancing before them in ways they would never do in public. The fullness of such occasions is completely sexual and completely spiritual at the same time. Men leave such an event transformed and inspired by the blessing power of free feminine embodiment. This is one of the unique gifts of the feminine form of woman. This is what you get in a woman with a feminine sexual essence. A woman who is all over the place emotionally. A woman whom you can depend on to change her mind. A woman who is much more sensitive than you are to the flow of subdual energies in your relationship. A woman who brings you delight and awe in the ecstasy, both sexual and spiritual, that her body expresses so freely and beautifully. It is all one package. You can't have a woman who is always logically consistent, reasonable, and on time, and who also fills your heart and flesh with energy instantly and throughout the day with her bodily expressed love and ecstasy. Mm. Says you can't have that, fellas. She can animate reasonable masculine energy when she wants. But if she has a feminine core, much of the time she will want to dance and wrathful anger and enchanting joy beyond the need for reason. Y'all hear that? Beyond the need for reason. So choose a woman who is your complementary opposite, for which most men means a more feminine woman. It is only a feminine woman who can give the gifts that you, as a masculine man, need. Along with these gifts, however, come the relative chaos and emotional weather storms that most men dread. Realize these aspects of the same energy that turns you on. Oh, yeah. That's why you keep coming back, coming back, coming back. Because it's arousing. It titillates you. Hmm. In fact, you can learn to be turned on by her dance of anger as much as her by her slinky purr. Look, purr. Look, her purr. Hmm. This capacity is one of your gifts to her. You can learn to stand free and strong no matter what emotion she displays. You won't leave, turn away, or disassociate in disgust. You can meet her enormous energy and stand full loving her through the storms, embracing her complete feminine power, dark and light. You will only be happy in intimacy if you choose a woman who is your sexual reciprocal as a partner. And you will only be able to survive such an intimacy if her dark and light sides are equally embraceable to you. It takes time to develop such skill and strength, but in doing so, you learn to provide your woman as well as the world with a man whose gifts are uncompromised by fear of feminine power and chaos. Ha ha! Message, y'all. And I've ended on page 91 in this particular section and of the book is called Working with Polarity and Energy. The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. You can find this book on Amazon. Y'all know that. And you can follow David Deida on your Instagram, maybe Facebook as well. But this was a good chapter. And I read out loud chapter 24, Choose a Woman Who is Your Complementary Opposite. Chapter 24. Chapter 24. Started on page 86 and I ended on page 91. A very good read. A very, very, very good read. All right. So, makes sense, right? Why some men tend to attract the women that they attract, but yet they try to control her. They don't embrace her. They don't understand her emotions. They don't want to deal with that. They dread it. It's like a headache. But that's the mere thing that turns him on. Yeah, is that. So you fellas, you heard the chapter. You know what you got to do. So right now, what I'm going to do is just pull one card, and then I'll be done with this read out loud and this little chitty chat that I've had. Let me take a little sip here from my cup. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm making decisions not to select a mate who will not reciprocate. Ooh, like I said, I'm on the road to 46. July the 13th is my 46th birthday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on the road to 46 and I'm too legit to quit, okay? And I'm not having it in 2021. No, sir, no, ma'am. Okay. Gotta reciprocate. I love that oral worship, and I love men who can understand me, the emotional, ever so changing her mind and her mood type. Look, Cancer, yes, true Cancerian love goddess woman that I am. He got to honor all that, baby, not just the yumminess. I love that. Thank you, David Eda, for that chapter in this book. So even though it's for men, I had to put my nose in that book and see what he suggests for the men to do to help them when they're doing the work, and I'm so with it. This is my manifesto card deck, okay, that I love pulling from, and I do other readings. Those of you who know this, I have various card decks from Oracle to Tarot, but this particular deck is just a straight manifestation deck. And I've tapped on it 3 times to clear out the energy. If you want to know why did she just tap on the deck when I do that, just clearing out the energy. And I see one card that's upside down, so I'm not gonna go on that side of the deck. I'm gonna pull from something here in the deck. Just a simple card. So I'm being led to put some of these down. We're gonna work with these cards right here. All right, so here we go, YouTubers. Let's see what the manifesto cards are saying here. I'm just gonna pull this one. All right, we got this one. Let me read this one. Those who have won major victories realize that all the resources to win are within, and that most knowledge needed to succeed is acquired after action. Oh, okay. Message. That is our manifesto card of the day. All right. Those who have won major victories realize that all The resources to win are within. That's right. Hmm. And that most knowledge needed to succeed is acquired after action. Wow. I mean, that's true. We got to make the effort. And, yeah, we have what we need to win, to succeed, to be greater beings. I believe, many of us are seeking outwardly for those things. And it's really the inner that is the winner. So if you need to reach me, y'all know that my email is Thick Dream Productions. If you're new here, hello, look, hello, thickdreamproductions at gmail.com. If you would like to book me for a private consultation, or if you have any comments about this particular post, thickdreamproductions at gmail.com is where I can be reached. And if there's any ladies in the audience, hello, ladies, hello, and you would like to get wasted with me, I am right now for my road to going to 46 because I'm too legit to quit. I am gifting ladies or fellas because I do business with both. I am gifting you two waist speed strands for the price of one. And my email for my Four Goddesses Holistic Products and Services is info, the number four, at Goddesses Holistic Products and Services.org. Again, that is info at the number four, Goddesses Holistic Products and Services. So when you reach out to me there at that email, what I'll do is send you a link to my present inventory that I have available, and we'll conduct business that way. And you order your one strand, and you'll get how many? Two free, made by these yummy hands here at the Foxhole, my sensuality infused waist beast runs. Look. With my yummy, sensual and loving, nice, soft hands. You'll get wasted by the Love Goddess. And I ship pretty much all over the globe, the world. But that's it. Thank you so much for viewing, liking, subscribing, sharing on my various platforms. And I hope YouTube, you got to see what it is that I do. And I do sometimes I dance. I might talk about some things, or I might share some downloads that I get in the morning time. But you got a little sample of me here today of what I do when I do my early morning chitty chats. Chitty chat with the Love Goddess Yvette Dream Johnson. So bye. Just came here, like I say on Facebook, smiling and waving. Smiling away. Smiling away. Kisses to you. Mwah. Mwah. Bye. Bye, y'all. See you soon. Ms.Atlanta, thickdream.com. Bye, baby. I love you too. I love y'all. I love you. I love you, darling. I love you. Bye.